Hey everyone, this is Anastasia, and I wanted to share with you guys a tarot spread that I had done tonight. Originally, I was going to work with my Viking Oracle deck because I absolutely love that deck, but then when I really thought of the reason for the draw, I felt my Shadowscape tarot cards were best. And I thought I would share it with you. So, first, a little backstory. Midsummer is right around the corner. It is next month. Midsummer is a very special time for me. It connects me to the meditative side of Cernunnos and has always been just one of my most connected Sabbats. This year, Midsummer seems to be popping up all over. I've got a friend who's directing a play. I have just some very interesting energy coming my way. A lot of Fae connection coming through lately, and a lot of people will associate Beltane more so with Fae, and I totally understand why. For some reason, Litha or Midsummer or the summer solstice has always connected me more so even than Beltane for some reason. I know it isn't odd that people would feel connected to the Fae for Midsummer. I mean, William Shakespeare wrote a whole show about it because it is the time for trooping fairies. But yeah, it's always pulled me. So this year for Midsummer, my witchy sister-in-arms and I are doing every Sabbath we get together to do a circle. And this year for Midsummer, she asked that I kind of take the lead on the circle. As I'm sure you guys know, if you've watched previous videos, if you haven't, then I'll give further backstory. Since Ostar, I've really been struggling with my personal path. I've been redefining it, kind of rebuilding it and restructuring it. And a lot of it is because a lot of things that I was doing in my practice, I was doing them for the wrong reasons. It wasn't that it was the wrong path or the wrong action. It's just I needed to really analyze it and understand why it is important for me personally, not just because a book told me to do it, not because someone else told me to do it, but because I actually resonated with it. With that in mind, intuition and really being led by that and really connecting to that inner spark that kind of sends shivers down my spine when something resonates and something like clicks has been crucial for me. One of the things that I've really been connecting to lately has been the elements so much. The elements have always been a connector for me, but it's gotten to the point where I feel as though I can't describe it. I'm trying to put words to something that's indescribable. Just the elements have become so prominent in my practice and so important in my practice that I felt before I begin kind of outlining and doing whatever research I feel called to do, which, because I want to be led by intuition more so, is a lot of meditation and looking for signs and kind of dream journaling and such. I thought it would be a good thing to do to reach out using a form of divination to the elements, to connect to them and ask those guardians, what is your message for me for Midsummer? What is something for me to take into the circle and maybe guide me in what ritual I should do? Or perhaps, just be a message for Midsummer and let me know it. Is there a certain honoring you would like? Is there somewhere you want me to be led? And so I thought, okay, I'm going to set up my table and do a reading where I pull just one card per element and see what the message is. So in front of you, you will see my guardian candles. I have earth with a pine cone and 3 stones with the Himalayan rock salt behind. Then I have air with 3 feathers and some incense burning behind there. Then I have fire with my lighter in front. I know that's so witchy, right? But then the 3 candles behind. And then over here I have water with 3 seashells and my latest jar of moon water behind that. And then I called the elements and asked that they guide my hands, grant me wisdom and insight into what messages I needed to bring into that circle. I spread out my cards just so you can see. It wasn't like I just pulled 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 all from the same area. And this was what I got. For Earth, I'm sorry if my camera's a little shaky, my hands are a little jittery. For Earth, I got the Chariot. For Air, I got the Fool. For Fire, I got the Empress. For Water, I got, let's see if it goes into focus, there we go, the 2 of Wands. And then I did pull a 5th one for Spirit, because I believe when all the elements combine, you do have that kind of connector. And for that, I got the 8 of Wands. So what all does that mean? I kind of marked the book, but I didn't read too much into it yet. So I thought I would share this kind of moment of discovery, because for me, I'm not one of these cool people that have the cards memorized and I'm just like, ooh, like I definitely get feelings off of the cards. I kind of have an idea generally what they mean. But for me, how my process works is when I read it from the book, I'll kind of read the meaning that's given to me by the author and sit there and kind of think of it for a minute, and then usually I'm able to connect it through to something. So we'll see. Now that I said that, I bet I jinxed myself because Murphy's Law and all that jazz. But I will start with Earth. And for Earth, we have the Chariot. I am using my Shadowscape Tarot deck. It is a beautiful deck. There is so much symbolism and so much meaning in these cards. For time, I'm going to skip over that, but if this deck calls to you, I strongly suggest it because these are such incredibly magical and connected cards. I absolutely adore them. So the meaning of the Chariot. Triumph over obstacles, achieving victory, focusing intent and will, establishing an identity, self-confidence, maintaining discipline, assuming the reins of power and authority, and driving with the unwavering certainty in a cause. Control must be exercised in a constantly changing environment that can and will present challenges. In a landscape of a world that is constantly shifting with people and emotions and circumstances all around. Like the tenuous border where sea meets sky, a constant tension of push and pull of air against liquid is maintained. And to ride to victory, one must be able to achieve the confidence and knowledge to walk upon the fragile surface. I don't even need to let that sit with me. A lot of my issues with restructuring my path, I think came about because I second guess myself all the time. If someone tells me something and it's against kind of what I believe or what I connect to, I'm going to go with what they say because in my mind they're far wiser than me. This, as soon as I started reading it, I just instantly knew that what this card is basically calling me to do is continue doing what I'm doing. I need to continue focusing on what it is that I need. Sometimes I worry in my path when I focus on my practice and what I need to follow and what I what I need. Lack of a better phrase. I mean, actually, no, not lack of a better phrase. I think that's the perfect phrase. I think everyone at times looks at what they need and goes, oh, but if I focus on my needs, I'm being selfish. And this card for me, the Chariot, especially in the position of Earth, I'm both my matron and my patron are Earth deities. It is one of the most connected element for me. It is how I ground myself. It is how I reconnect to my inner self. I just need to keep following this and not second guess my thoughts, not second guess my own insight and my own intuition, because they are going to be challenged. But I need to stay the path. So air, we have the Fool. I love the Fool. The Fool makes me so happy. On this card, it is represented by a woman, just putting it out there because they refer to that. She stands on the edge of a very sheer precipice. Oh, that's describing the card. I'm skipping that. Sorry, guys. The Fool is a symbol for new beginnings and adventures, pleasure, passion. She rushes ahead, thoughtless and rash, before thinking, obeying instincts. Like the Fool, you may stand upon the precipice, gazing out into the unknown. The endless expanse of blue nothing is all that fills the space between the high up airy and the ground that is so very far away. There is either an oblivious foolishness to the terrible plunge you may experience, or else a wild spirit of adventure and great faith and knowledge in what can and will bear you up and guide you through the times to come. There are unlimited possibilities opening up for the seeker. This card for me is all about potential. It always has been, it always will be. I'm currently really studying the air element because we are in that phase in the natural world. I honestly think it's calling me to be a bit less studious and be a bit more foolish and be a bit more wild, be a bit more spirited, be a bit more adventurous, because I tend to be a bit more reserved and analyze things before I do or speak, especially since I'm asking about the ritual, what kind of ritual to do. When it comes to doing ritual, being part of ritual, I get so nervous about looking stupid or saying something wrong or being ridiculed, and I think this card is saying that's holding me back. And what the air element wants me to do with this midsummer is let it go and just kind of release it and have a bit of carefree abandonment in that circle and in that time, and embrace that. The Empress for fire. The Empress, again, Empress can be tricky with me. I've had great experiences with her, and I've had really trying ones. The basic meaning is creativity, generosity, patience, love. The Empress is about abundance, experiencing the senses and embracing the natural. She is a creator. She is the mother, fertile and nurturing. Clasped to her body like a child, she holds a basket of earthly bounties, fruits and sheaves of wheat and glorious flowers. She is the primal essence and embodiment of light and is deeply tied to nature, crowned in ivy, clasped in garments of the colors of the world around her. That speaks to me so much of someone else. I just instantly, I know what this is calling me to do, and I don't want to share it because it's not my story, it's not my part. But but I think that's actually speaking to me about a specific ritual to do. Summer solstice, some people see it because it is called Midsummer. They see it as the midsummer, and that Beltane begins summer. For me, Beltane is still spring. Everyone else in the world can say I'm wrong. That is what connects to me. Midsummer is summer solstice. It's the first day of summer. So that is when the season of fire begins. And it is a huge fire festival. And so I think I'm definitely going to need to incorporate a fire ritual into my workings in that circle. And I'm going to move the camera a little bit so that 2 of Wands can get in there for water. 2 of Wands. Wands seem to be one of my, every time I have a reading done for me, Wands are in there. It's just a thing. 2 of Wands is the emblem of personal power and influence, authority and courage. Now is the time to be bold and inventive and not shy away from doing what is necessary. But also beware of letting the intoxication of power cloud the mind and judgment. For me, it's kind of reflecting again what the Fool is saying. Be a bit abandoned. Enjoy the abandonment a bit. Let go. Lose a bit of inhibitions. But in doing that, there is a fine line between confidence and conceit. And that is actually a lesson that hell has been hitting, like just pounding me with lately. Don't let the power cloud the mind and judgment. So yes, embrace what the air element is bringing to you, but continue to focus on the intent. Take your sovereignty, take your power, but know that that power is not to be abused. Otherwise, bad juju is coming your way. Yeah, I think that's a message that I've been getting a lot lately. So I that makes sense to me, and especially that it's water, since water is usually a struggle, and this year it has been all over the place for me. Then to connect to spirit, we have the 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands is the beginning of a long journey towards a goal. A great undertaking is at hand, and it speeds towards a reward with hope and momentum. Oh my gosh, that just brings everything in, doesn't it? I mean, the whole point of this is, am I proceeding correctly? How should I be guided to connect to these elements? Am I kind of refocusing properly? I'm asking for a bit of guidance. And it's saying, if I just keep trusting my intuition and keep going with it, it's coming to the right result. It will manifest. It will come to fruition. And especially since this is the Spirit card, I pretty much connect to the actual working that will take place within the circle. And since I'm like, oh yeah, we're going to do a fire ritual of some sort, I love this meaning and it connecting to fire. So it, again, concretes it in my mind, that confirms it in my mind, there we go, that the working we should be doing is a fire ritual for somebody. So yeah, that is my intuitive tarot reading connecting to the elements for Midsummer. I don't know, I'm trying new things with divination tools. I'm trying new things with any kind of spiritual tool and just seeing how it works. I love this. I feel so good at this moment, and I was feeling really low before I started this video. I almost didn't do it. I almost didn't even do the reading because I just wanted to go to bed. And I love when things do that in your practice. When you feel like crap and you kind of just push yourself just a little bit, you have a bit of that driving force. Um, for me, usually it's hell in my head saying, chick, get off your ass and do this shit. Um, and when I do, it almost always, whether it's painful, whether it's joyful, it's always productive. And it always means something. And yeah, just awesome. But I guess my whole point of sharing this is we all have these tools and we're told this is how it should be used. This is the spread you should use. This is how you should use it. There's so many people out there showing us different inventive ways of using these tools. Keep an open mind. See what leads you and see where it takes you. And you might be surprised with the result. I hope everyone has a great night. Blessed be.